Hey everybody, it's Rob here, and welcome to Through Eternity Walks, and this is our destination series. Today we're going to be going to the Vatican City, where we have the largest church in the world and one of the greatest collections of art, but more importantly, this is a point of reference, of pilgrimage for the over a billion Catholic followers in the world, because this is the place where St. Peter's is buried, right under that dome. Hey everyone, today we're going to do the Vatican City. So we're going to check out the Pinacoteca, which is right behind me, the Etruscan Museums, the Egyptian Museums, the Gallery of the Maps, the Raphael Rooms, the Sistine Chapel, St. Peter's Basilica, and we're going to go up into the dome. We want to show you everything, so when you're planning your trip, you get an idea of what you want to see when you come out here. We start our adventure today leaving from Termini, always the main hub from which many tourists arrive into Rome. We will take a quick subway ride to get to Ottaviano. There are only 5 metro stops until we arrive at our destination. It is so thrilling to get out of the station. I can't express enough to you what the first time is like going to the Vatican City. Arguably one of the most beautiful places in the world on so many different levels. But first, we'll need to stock up on caffeine and carbs to give us a great sweet boost for the day. A classic Italian breakfast, of course, is a cornetto semplice, which is a glazed croissant. It's my favorite. The quick meal wouldn't be complete without sipping on an amazing cappuccino. This looks like an impregnable fortress. The entrance of the museums and these walls give one the sense that this is not only a place of faith, but of art, politics, and power. Who knew that this really is a city within a city? That's really the view of the dome that Michelangelo wanted you to see. It really is a different world when you enter here. Away from the hustle and bustle of the city, we come to a place with an intrinsic balance of nature and architecture. Look into these wonderful windows into the past. What were these people saying? Can you hear the instruments of the angels playing music? Here we're going into one of my favorite rooms of the Vatican Museums. Looking at some of the masterpieces by the hand of Raphael, who was rumored to have outdone nature herself. This painting takes my breath away every time I see it. From the genius of Da Vinci to the pure passion of Caravaggio, one can't help but start to be curious about the lives of these artists and the stories they were trying to convey. Jumping from the art of Christian faith, we move further back in time to ancient Egypt. How did the favorite of a Roman emperor become a god? A world that was old just as the Romans started out. This ancient culture inspired the Romans so much that you can see signs of it all over the city. Have you seen some of Egypt's rays of sunlight throughout the Eternal City? I'm certain you have. Deep mysteries of the Etruscans start to unfold. Looking at these faces of people belonging to an ancient civilization that was so influential for the Romans, their craftsmanship with gold jewelry, one could imagine the men and women so luxuriously dressed for a dinner banquet.
These people were very proud and wanted to be remembered after they were gone.
Okay, so guys, we are in what was once called the courtyard of the statues. This is where people who were the noble elite invited by the popes, and also, if you were really lucky, the artists like Raphael and many others could come here and study the works. But I wanted to point out, it was originally built up by Julius II. Well, he changed it around. He chose the name Julius because he wanted to emulate Julius Caesar and the emperors, and so he wanted to have collections of statues. This statue right here, Felice Venere, or what's it, Happy Venus, let's say, was one of the original pieces of the collection. It got changed around, but take a look. It's kind of amazing.
Listen to their voices. What can you hear from these gods and heroes of the past? What are these sculptors wanting to say to us? Beware, Greeks bearing gifts, this man said before he was killed by the gods. We are walking amongst the gods, goddesses, and emperors. They demand that we look up to the heavens. From statues of ancient gods to Pope-mobiles, one of the greatest museums in the world opens up to us all in one day. Time for a coffee break, to have a moment and take it all in. Now to head out on a path to the Sistine Chapel. This neoclassical masterpiece that seems to me to recreate the grand palaces of the ancient Romans. Who would have thought that our journey through the Vatican City would take us through a fantastic trip throughout all of Italy? An incredible battle scene with the glorious emperor in the center, dressed in gold. An amazing array of figures from the past, both from the Christian and the classical world, all set in the same place at the same time. Were these the private rooms for a pope? Why so detailed? Who would have been allowed to see these frescoes when they were originally painted? Is God creating man here, or is he giving him a soul? We can argue this for hours, but only Michelangelo really knows the answer. The German writer Goethe best sums this up. I cannot tell you how much I wished you were here, for until you have seen the Sistine Chapel, you can have no adequate conception of what man is capable of accomplishing.
Hey guys, so today we're going to be a little courageous now. I'm a little scared of heights, actually a lot of scared of heights, and a little scared of claustrophobia, but I really wanted us to go and see the Dome of St. Peter, so we're going to go up, 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 to get some great views.
Actually, I'm more scared of bad grammar. Forgive my redundancy. I'm just claustrophobic. Bam! Up to the top where the angels and saints mingle in the heavens. Getting up here is a good workout, but totally worth it for the views on the inside and even better on the outside. Let's go even higher. Here we are. Eccoci qua. Look at the Sistine Chapel. It really does kind of look like Noah's Ark. Have you ever realized that St. Peter's Square is shaped like a keyhole?
Okay guys, so we are inside St. Peter's. If you can hear in the background, there are people in prayer because High Mass is going on right now.
Si fa intorno alla casa di Pietro, cerca il Signore Gesù e il Signore Gesù ha una parola di conforto e una parola di guarigione per ognuno di quelle persone che sono presenti.
How wonderful to be able to absorb the sights and sounds of the church during Mass. Sure, it seems like a very large place, but you can't really grasp its immensity, even when you walk inside. This is one of my favorite statues in Rome, St. Longinus by Bernini. So powerful that he seems to explode out from his pedestal. A mixture of gold, marble, art, mosaic, and architecture in a combined cohesive effort by thousands of people for over a century to create their idea of heaven on earth based on faith. The world-famous Pietà by Michelangelo, something that is so subtle and evocative every time you see it. Walking through the colonnade, I feel happy and exhausted, but ecstatic to have been able to cover it all. It is a wonderful point of view to end our day where the story of Peter's ending happened and where the Vatican City began.
Wow, we've done it. We have done the whole Vatican City in a day. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We finished up here, St. Peter's in my back, St. Peter's Dome, which you did get to see through the whole thing. I just want to thank everyone. And I also really want to thank Through Eternity Tours. And if you like what we do, please remember to subscribe because we're going to be coming out with one of these videos at least once a week, covering different areas, different things to do, a whole bunch of interesting content. Ciao. Did you have me doing
I did.
That's just me, that was I was about to say, Dylan, your hand stopped shaking. You had that drink.
Blame me.
That was bad karma for me taking it.
Mm-hmm.